You are watching Lit Happens, Saskatchewan's showcase of the literary talent of the province. We are out on location today at Earl's Restaurant on 2nd Avenue in Saskatoon, and it is a lovely day and it feels great to be here. So I would like to introduce my guest, Jennifer Buchanan. Jennifer, welcome to Lit Happens.
Thanks, Wes.
Yeah, I think we're both pretty tickled you're here. We've been trying to make this happen for a while.
I know. No, this is terrific.
Now, I just want to say that you're one of the guests that have gone through great lengths to be on Lit Happens. You just flew in from Calgary, and here you are on the set just a few minutes after your flight arrived. And how do you feel?
You know what? I feel really good, and you're right. I've wanted to do this for a long time. I've been really impressed with what you're doing and the whole concept of the show, and it's wonderful to be a part.
Well, I'm glad you're here. Now we're going to talk about your book, which there's a lot to talk about with that. But first, I need to get a little bit of a backstory. Tell us a little bit about you.
Sure. I'm originally from British Columbia.
Yeah.
And moved to Calgary after I had completed my degree in music therapy. And I moved to that location because an opportunity to intern came up. After you finish your degree, you do 1,000 hours of internship.
Wow.
And the reason why that happens is the youngest client I've had the opportunity to work with is about 2 months old, and the oldest is 108. In there is a spectrum of populations I've been able to serve, from mental health to palliative care to working with seniors with dementia, kids with diverse disabilities. And so essentially what happened is I came to Calgary and found myself feeling quite rooted there very quickly. It was a very welcoming community to music therapy, allowed me to settle in, and I was able to build a practice there, which essentially is what Tune In the book has been written for, was to look at the history of what's happened over these last couple of decades.
Yeah. Well, I think music therapy is something that is growing. It's not something that was really common up until maybe a decade or 2 decades ago?
It became an official profession in Canada in the late 70s.
Yeah.
It's been a profession in the United States since the 50s. But you're right, it's starting to pick up a lot of steam right now. Even in the media, we're hearing a lot of research that's going on with music in the mind. And what's happened, where the shift has just happened, is that because of MRI machines, we're now able to see how music is working in the brain and helps the brain function. And so music therapy itself is starting to pick up some steam and become more in demand. People are calling us and wanting to use our expertise on how do we use music intentionally to help other people.
Wow. Well, I'm curious, and so I'm sure a lot of other viewers are. Tell us about a day in the life of a music therapist. What would that all entail?
Oh, we wake up singing and humming. No.
I was getting a great vision there.
It's not quite like that.
Yeah.
You know, it would be so much like any other profession that you're passionate about.
Yeah.
My life's slightly different because I'm really fortunate to employ 15 other music therapists amongst my team.
Super.
So I have a little bit of that behind the scenes grunt work that's going on with administration and supporting my staff. And but the day in the life of someone who is a music therapist and is working with people in the community could be that at 9 a.m. you might go and work with 4-4-year-olds who have autism, and you would be schlepping in your guitar and a variety of different instruments, and you would be going there and you would help them with speech and language and focus and using live music with these kids. And then a couple of hours later, you might find yourself at the hospital on the palliative care unit, sitting next to someone who is dying of cancer, and helping to use music to go with their slower motion and their flow of where they're at in life. And helping them to feel as relaxed as they can, and whatever their particular need is in the moment. And then in the afternoon, you might go and have 3 groups and a couple of individuals with seniors, where you're helping to allow them to feel familiar and comfortable with all that music that they hold so dear, and a lot of our world is live, so we're creating music in the moment, from songwriting to lyric analysis to asking a question of what's your earliest musical memory, and we're designing these programs very specific to each of the people that we're working with.
Wow, fascinating. Now, besides everything else you have going on, which is a lot, you also authored a book.
I did.
So give us a little more in depth of the premise.
Well, Tune In, the whole point of writing Tune In for me is because of all these people that I've told you about, all these very unbelievable people who are coping through such unique challenges in their life and courageously, and the stories that have come out of that. Those stories are in that book.
Yeah.
But the reason why they're in that book is so then we can say, listen, if music can do this for them, then what can music do for you?
Yeah.
And so this is about bringing the strategies behind the scenes of what we do clinically as music therapists into your home and workspace, just to help you feel better.
Yeah.
To help boost your mood, to decrease anxiety, decrease stress, and there's strategies. So the book is story, and then there's rationale, and then there's strategies as well throughout the entire book that people can use.
Brilliant. I love it. Where can viewers find the book in Canada?
Well, you can go to my website at jbmusictherapy.com.
Yeah.
You can go to Amazon. You can get it on Kindle and Kobo, whatever is best for you to use. I would just be delighted if people would look into it.
Yeah, and it is an ebook.
It is an ebook.
On Kobo and Kindle. So
It
I always
is.
want to get that out.
Absolutely.
A lot of people are reading online.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And you do dabble in social media a bit. So
I love it. You're one of my favorite Facebook
we are.
friends.
We are definitely Facebook friends.
So it's great. So yes, people can find me at JB Music Therapy.
Yeah.
And I look forward to socializing with people.
Awesome. Well, I know we're out of time, but I just want to say this was almost magical that this happened. That we got you here, we got you off your flight and to the taping, and
Thanks,
you
Wes.
took time out of your busy world, and big thanks to you.
Thank you, and to you.
You bet.
Take care.
You too. That's all the time we have today for Lit Happens. If you enjoyed today's episode, you can see previous episodes on the Shaw TV website or on my website, westfunk.ca. And you can connect with us online on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. So I will see you next time on Lit Happens.